Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is 2:31 a.m. on this very, very cold Friday evening going into Saturday morning. It is currently, it just dropped. It was 0 and now it's -1 degrees outside. It is like freezing outside. And left the club just a little while ago. Take my thing off here from going out. This wristband thing. Had a really good time tonight. But I'll go back and talk about my whole day first. Got up early today. I actually, last night, I wanted to watch Single Drunk Female, but it hadn't come out yet. It shows like upcoming on Hulu, but I think it came out today. It hadn't come out yet. So I might watch it when I get done vlogging tonight. So last night, I actually started watching that show, La Brea. And I watched the entire first episode, and it's really good, you guys. I was like in bed, and I had my phone propped up on the table, the nightstand next to me, with my AirPods in, and I was like watching it. And as I was like going to sleep with the dogs, and Alex cuddled all around me, and it's really, really good. It's about this sinkhole, like on La Brea Street in La Brea Avenue or whatever it is, Boulevard, I don't know, Lane, in Los Angeles. It's like this huge sinkhole happens, right? And then these people and cars and stuff all fall through the sinkhole. And so everybody just assumes that they're dead. But they actually, they go through this warp zone or something underneath it, like 22,000 feet down or something, and it takes them to this other land. And basically, this is going to kind of ruin it a little bit for the first episode, but just to kind of get you interested. They don't know where they are or when they are. They can't really figure it out. And it reminds me of Lost a little bit. In fact, actually, one of the characters jokes and says, like, are we in an episode of Lost or something? They say something like that. But I really like it. And so I watched the whole first episode, the entire first episode of that last night. And then I went to sleep. Got up this morning I think I got up about 9:30. And I really wish I had a cup of coffee, but I just decided to vlog. I brought my camera with me tonight, and I brought my cologne. I have my Creed with me. This is my cologne that I wear most days. Well, mostly when I go out. It smells so good. I love this. It's Creed Aventus. I love it. So I got up. What did I do first this morning? Oh, I woke up and there was snow everywhere outside, and I was so excited. I mean, it was like really snowing hard, and I was like, oh my God, we finally got snow. I was so happy. And so I took the dogs outside, and they ran and ran and ran, and they had so much fun. Tucker doesn't love the snow as much as Boo, but he still ran in it and stuff. He still had fun in the snow, and they were going to the edge of the woods and sniffing around, and they had a good time in the snow today. It made me really happy. So I took them out, I made a cup of coffee and got ready, and then I went to, did I do the review first? I can't remember. I think I went and I walked in the woods first. I went to Richie Woods, and I did a video of me walking in the woods and kind of telling stories about the dogs and stuff. And then at the end, I had filmed like Boo Radley running around the yard, and I included a clip of Boo Radley, this video that I had filmed of him like running around the yard. I included it at the end of the Peter Does Stuff video. because it was so cute. And then I sat in my car at Richie Woods and I did my Q&A, just talking about like all of the questions I had gotten about all kinds of stuff. My deep dive Q&A. People don't seem super interested in watching it. All these people are like, I would love a deep dive answering all the you know, deeper questions, and then I do it and it's like this really long video. It's like 53 minutes and it just, not many people wanted to watch it, I guess. And so it's whatever. I had fun doing it. And so I did that video, and then I went to Dairy Queen and I did a review of, my feet are kind of cold right now. I have on those Doc Marten platform boots, which are like, now that I've broken them in, they're so comfortable. But I will say that they're not super warm. they're cold, especially in the winter. And we had to like walk tonight. So I did the review of the vegan dilly bar at Dairy Queen. It was really good, you guys. Like really, really good. And somebody had asked me to do that review, so I was like, sure, I'll do this review. So I did the review of the vegan dilly bar, and then I came home, and Alex got off work early today. He went to have brunch with one of his girlfriends. They went to Rise, which is that restaurant that I love. And then afterwards they went somewhere else, and because they left there about 3 o'clock, so they went somewhere else and just kind of hung out and talked at this other restaurant, because that brunch place closes at like 3 o'clock, I think. 2 or 3, I don't know. But anyway, whenever it closed, they went across the street to this other place and kind of just hung out there. And then he came home about 4:30, and I was getting a bunch of stuff done, and I was going to actually run to Macy's and get a shirt for tonight. And I thought, that's so stupid to go to Macy's and buy a shirt for tonight when I have, you know, stuff that I could wear. So of course I wear the same thing I always do, which is this black button-down polo shirt that I have. But I really do like it, and it's very comfortable. And let's see. Woo! I have it unbuttoned a little too much. I really want a cup of coffee or a Diet Coke, but I really don't want to. I haven't done this in a while. Gone to McDonald's. Do I want a cup of coffee, or do I really want a cup of coffee, I think. So, yeah, I love this shirt. So cute. Although, I wish the polo was like a different color on here. Can you even see it? I don't know why. I just wish it was like red or something. But so I decided not to go to Macy's. Instead, I decided, like, I left to go. And, because, like, Alex, when he came home, he was, like, helping me because I was, like, getting videos up and stuff. And so, did I ever even post that Peterisms video? I didn't. I always forget. I filmed a Peterisms video, but I didn't post it. I don't think I did. And, well, I'll have it for tomorrow. I was getting videos up and stuff, so I was like, did we empty the dishwasher today, or was that yesterday? And I think it was yesterday that we're standing there emptying the dishwasher together. I'm like, do I want a Dr. Pepper? Do I want a Diet Coke? I already had a Coke when I went to this restaurant tonight. It was like a Mexican Coke. This restaurant was so good that we went to tonight. I'll talk about that in a second. It was called Nada. What do I want to drink? They supposedly are having some new breakfast sandwich here called the hash brown breakfast sandwich or something. Have you guys heard of it? I haven't heard it. I read an article, or I read it in this article, but I haven't heard that they have it yet, so I don't know. But anyway, where's my wallet? So it's ready. I took my watch off, and I took this bracelet off that I had. Put these things in the watch. Put this watch and my bracelet in this bag. What do I want? What do I want?
Thank you for choosing McDonald's. What can we make first for you tonight?
Do you guys have any coffee on right now?
No, unfortunately, we only have the iced coffee and the iced drink.
Okay, can I get a, let me do a large Diet Coke, please.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it. Actually, can you make that a Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper instead?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, 109 at the window.
Thank you.
Okay.
Really wanted a cup of coffee, but oh well, I have coffee every single night. I was kind of like craving a Dr. Pepper when I was like pulling up here, so I was like, their fountain pops are good at McDonald's. So Alex fed the dogs, and I was getting these videos up, and then that was when I was, or was that when I was, that was when I was getting ready to leave to go to Macy's. So he was like, I think I'm going to take a nap and lay down for a little bit. There seems to be like a lot of smoke coming out of my exhaust. Well, it is so cold. It's now 3 degrees, it says. So my hair keeps on going back and forth between looking really cute and really corny. There's like no in between. So I'm kind of like trying to grow it out a little bit longer, like when we got married. Not long, but longer, so I can style it a little bit, but not so, like, it has to be a little bit longer so it lays down, so it's not like so poofy right here. So, because it like just my hair sticks out like that. And I got it cut so short that now that I want it a little bit longer, I'm gonna have to grow it out like an inch or two so that it like lays down, but it'll look cute when it gets there. So that'll be like this summer, spring or summer. But anyway, so yeah, Alex, he fed the dogs and stuff, then he was like, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. And so I went to Macy's and then I came back because I wanted to lay down. And so I came back and then I put a pair of jeans in the wash because I wanted to wear this specific pair of jeans. But, like I took them out of, when I got them dry and I was getting ready, I was like, they were still kind of, they were these jeans I bought and they were still kind of baggy. I was like, they usually like tighten up a lot, so I wore these black jeans that, these other jeans I had were like blackish gray. They were kind of like faded. And I love that brand Buffalo, but they do rip. Like they keep on ripping. I don't know why. Because it's like stretchy material, so it shouldn't be ripping. And I even contacted their customer service and they never responded to me, but I'm like, whatever. Some of their jeans rip and some of theirs don't. So I think it's like certain jeans. I don't know. Anyway, so I was gonna go to Macy's and get something or go to Von Maur, and then I was just like, I'm not really in the mood to go in and go shopping places and stuff. So I just like turned around and I came home. And I finished getting my videos ready, and then I was like, I'm gonna lay down. And that was when I washed a pair of jeans and stuff. But by that point, well, Jason, we were supposed to have dinner at 8:30, and then Jason called me and Melissa's husband, and he was like, so we had to change the dinner plans to 9 because we have so many people in our party. And so he was like, is 9 okay? And I was like, yeah, it's totally fine. So I texted Carlos and Liliana because Alex was already asleep and told them that it was at 9 because they were meeting us there instead of 8:30. And then I went upstairs and I laid down from like 7 to 8. I just couldn't sleep though. I couldn't nap. Finally, this always happens to me. Like 10 or 15 minutes before I had to get up, I fell asleep. So, and then I was so tired. I looked over at Alex and I said, I'm excited about tonight, but I would rather just eat pizza and, you know, cuddle on the couch, snuggle on the couch, and just watch bad TV. And he goes, I totally agree, because I'm tired too. He was really tired. Plus, it was so cold, we didn't really want to go anywhere. But we had made this whole, like, night that we were going to go because, like, so this friend of Melissa and Jason's, her husband is from Panama, and his brother and sister-in-law just came here. They're like visiting. And so Jason thought it would be like really fun for us to get a big group of people together and go to like Latin night at this club called Envy downtown. So, and then we wanted to go to this, like, and Alex was like, we were gonna go to a steakhouse, but Alex was like, why don't we like keep it on theme and go to this, this Latin restaurant that's called Nada downtown, which Alex thought I had been there, but I had never been there before. So after we got up from our naps, we got ready and we went down there and we went to Nada. This restaurant, I fell in love with this restaurant. It was so cute, you guys. I don't know if I can, if it'll pull up on my Instagram story for you guys to see, but the chairs were so adorable. It was like, there's my husband. Can you see? Look how cute he is. I said, my husband is so sexy. He's saucy. Okay, here, first of all, here's the chairs. I don't know if you can see that, but they're like yellow. And it's like this chintz pattern that was fantastic. Do you see that? It's like so beautiful. It was like these long wood tables. It looked very much like, kind of like rustic California. Aw, look at my husband. He is so sexy. He had like this black silk shirt on. And then here's Melissa and I cheering our Mexican Cokes. Then here was all the food that we got. We got like 5 different kinds of salsa and queso and all this kind of stuff. And there's Melissa and I. And then here's Liliana, Carlos, and Alex talking. And then here was my street corn. That was so delicious. Then here's my husband dancing. And here's Carlos sitting there dancing. In our section, Jason got a section. Then here was Carlos and Liliana dancing in our section. We had a good time. It was fun. And there's Melissa being super tired because she and I just kind of sat there the whole night. Well, I stood and danced for a little while, just at the little, because we had like this section that was all like, you know, it was like up and over and raised. And then, so it was fun. So we went to dinner and we went to this place called Nada. And it's kind of like an upscale Mexican restaurant, but they have like all kind of like Latin food on there. And we got Alex is texting me, he's on his way home. So, we got 2 orders of this for the table because there were so many of us. We got, they had 5 different kinds of salsa. One of them was so hot about burned my mouth. And then we got queso and this huge thing of guacamole, but it was all presented like completely different. Like the salsa bowls were real small. And then the queso came in this like long thing and then, or this, it looked kind of like a guacamole bowl. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like something that you would put on the stove, like a pot, but it was like small. And then the guacamole, it had like turnips on top of it. It was like this like thing of guacamole like this. It was like a guacamole cake kind of thing. And then it had little thin slices of turnips on top of it. And it was really good. The queso was the best though. And then Alex got empanadas and something else. I wanted the empanadas, but they only had one kind. It was like some kind of like braised meat or something inside of it. I feel like it was like kind of like steak carnada or something like that, empanadas. So Alex got those, and then Alex got something else too. I can't remember. It was like tapas. It was like small plates. And then Melissa and Jason got street tacos. And then Jason got something else. Melissa and I shared the jalapeno cornbread. We only ate like a third of it. It was like so filling. And the queso and everything was so filling. And then I got a wedge salad that had like this chipotle ranch on it. It was like this small little salad, little small wedge. It was so cute, you guys. It was so delicious. It was way too much food. I'm still full. And then I got street corn, and it was probably like the best street corn. I just told him I was getting a Dr. Pepper at McDonald's. Alex said, ha ha ha. Carlos and Liliana are driving he and Jason home. And so it was like probably the best street corn I'd ever had. The jalapeno cornbread was, oh my God, chef's kiss. It was so good. And it came in this like little skillet that was like, you know, like one of those like black skillets. It's like this big, you know, and it was so good. And it was burnt on the bottom, like purposely burnt on the bottom. And the butter that they had with it was delicious. And then Melissa and I both got these Mexican Cokes, and they had like big bottles of water on the table and stuff. I have to tell you what was so interesting was when we were leaving, like we were like the last table there, and this guy, this guy that was like clearing the table, he was like a server, and like these two other girls that had, like one had been our server, and then this other one was like helping her bring stuff out. Like they were so attentive to us. And the guy was like, did you like your food? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, so what was your favorite thing? Because like they were all getting their coats on and stuff. He was like, what was your favorite thing? And I was like, oh my God, it was like the best street corn I've ever had. He goes, really? And I said, yeah. I said, it was fantastic. And I think it's elote is how they pronounce it, I think. And he was like, so what else did you like? I said, oh my God, the cornbread. And Melissa was talking about the cornbread. And he was like so interactive, like he really cared about like what we thought about the food. And I thought that was really cool, you know? I love when people take pride in, you know, the restaurants and what they're doing. It was just a beautiful hotel. They had these, or beautiful restaurants, or beautiful restaurant. They had these huge red velvet booths in the middle of it. It actually reminded me of this restaurant that Alex and I went to. He said I had been here before, but he's thinking about this restaurant that we went to in Chicago. And it was called something like the El National or something like that. And at like 9 o'clock, they started like salsa dancing. And we were like in these huge booths that were like red velvet. And it was like almost the exact same kind of menu. And it was such a cool bar and restaurant that we went to. Actually, the last time that I was that the last time that I was in Chicago? When Alex had like a work conference thing up there, and I went up there a couple years ago. It was like 4 years ago. Because I remember I was really excited to go to this bookstore in Chicago that another booktuber told me to go to. So yeah, so we went to that restaurant, and then we all walked down the street to the Club Envy. We parked in the parking garage, and Jason and Melissa parked like right across the street from the club. So we walked down. It was absolutely freezing outside, and because Jason had gotten a section, like we just like walked right in, and so I felt so bad. There were all these people that were standing outside. I was like, it's too freezing out here. I wouldn't even be going out if I had to stand in any kind of like line to get in, because it is too cold for all that. I could have been totally fine, honestly, going out to dinner and going home, because I was tired and just very just like relaxed, you know? Like, I am so at the point in my life where I'm just like, let's do dinner and then let's go home, you know? Or watch a movie or something. But we went out and we just like walked right. We got there early. There was like not hardly anybody there when we got there. And it was just like we walked right up into the section, and Melissa and I just kind of sat there the whole night. And they brought out stuff, and Melissa had a Coke and I had a Red Bull and a half. Almost 2 Red Bulls, I guess, but which is why I'm yawning, because I'm tired from these 2 Red Bulls, you know. How are you doing?
You know what?
I said, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know, all these years later, after being a vegetarian, a Big Mac still looks so good. Thank you. Have a blessed evening. I mean, like, I don't crave the meat from it, but just a Big Mac looks good. I don't know what it is about it. It's that special sauce that'll get you every time. I just read some article. Where did I read this? That McDonald's, I should have looked while I was there, that McDonald's is not offering large fries anymore because there's a fry shortage. Where did I read that? Did I read that on Twitter or something? So anyway, it was fun. I stood up and danced with Alex for a little bit, and it was interesting being there, like, on a night that wasn't, like, EDM, and it was, like, Latin night, because it was just, it was a little bit more subdued and sexy, and not so, like, You know what I mean? And I liked it more, well, obviously. And I knew more of the music, because like when I'm around my in-laws, it's, they play a lot of that music. Like Carlos loves all that like reggaeton. I love that reggaeton too. I just don't know all of the artists. And so, did I just break the straw? I'm gonna be so upset if I did. But I do Shazam and buy a lot of it. So yeah, so that was fun. And then Melissa, I don't even know what time we got there. Like I said, it was early, but Melissa was like, I'm not staying past 1. She was really tired. And I was like, okay, she's like, I want to go home and let the dogs out. I just want to get home. She's like, I've been going all day. So I was like, okay. I said, I'll leave when you leave. And she's like, well, if I drive home and you drive home, who's going to get Alex and Jason home? So I said, Alex came over and I said, how long are you wanting to stay? Because Melissa's wanting to leave at 1. And I'm going to leave when she leaves so that I can go vlog and stuff. And I was kind of ready to go, obviously anyway. And he was like, I don't know. He was like, babe, just go. He was like, I can take an Uber home. And then Melissa was like, well, what about Jason? Because I told her, I said, if they're going to leave soon, then I'll just stay and I'll drive. And Alex was like, well, Jason and I can take an Uber together. So they were going to take an Uber together, but I guess Liliana and Carlos drove them home. So yeah, so that's how they got home, I guess. But anyway, so I left. I guess they stayed about an hour and a half longer than we did. I don't know. And then we left, and Melissa and I walked right out, and then she was parked literally right across the street. And she was like, do you want me to walk you or drive you to your car? And I said that would be really nice because it was so cold outside. And we had parked in the mall parking lot, and Alex was like, oh, you can get back in the door. I go, how late are they open? He goes, they're open all night long, when the until the bars are like 5 in the morning or closed and whatever. And well, the bars close at 3, but like, they stay open till like 5 or something. He was like, they stay open way past that. And I go, are you sure? And he goes, yeah. So Melissa dropped me off at this door that was like where we had come out of the elevator to go in. And I said, okay, I appreciate it. And she goes, well, I'm going to stay here just to make sure you can get in. And I said, oh, you don't have to do that, Melissa. And she goes, no, I want to stay right here. Well, sure enough, I went to go get in this door, and I couldn't get in. It was like this sliding glass door, and it was locked for the night to get into the mall parking lot. And the mall parking lot downtown Indianapolis is literally like 4 city blocks. So I would have had to have walked around like the 4 city blocks to get to the other side, and walked all the way through this parking garage to get to our car, which, I mean, it was whatever. I mean, it's not like I couldn't have done it, but it would have been like really, really cold. So I went back to Melissa's car. She was like, could you not get in? I go, no, I couldn't get in. So she drove me around to where you actually like drive down into the parking garage. And so I said, I'm fine, you can leave. If I can get into the parking garage, I know how to find my car. But then our car was parked at the very other end, and I had to like walk down one ramp, walk down another ramp, and I'm kind of like in this parking garage by myself, and I'm like, this is kind of spooky. There were other people like getting off work and stuff that were like walking to their cars, so it wasn't super scary, but I just was like, I don't love this. Listened to quite a bit of Slouching Towards Bethlehem today. Loving it. Honestly, just kind of want it to be done so I can go into a fiction book. I really, really do love it. I'm just not, like, it would have been a good summer book to read. I'm not really in the mood to read it in winter. It's very kind of depressing and sad in parts. And, I feel like with the gloominess of the weather and stuff, it just, makes it even, I don't know, more depressing and sad to read. So I'm ready to move on to the Vampire Diaries, which is, did I say the Vampire? Is that what it's called? Alice Rice, Anne Rice, and is it the Vampire Diaries? I don't even remember what it's called now. I'm losing my mind. But that's the next thing I'm going to listen to, and I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and I hope I like it. And then after that, I'm going to listen to Bonnie and Clyde. And that is my plan for the next week, those 2 books. So I really have to like get down to business and listen to it. It really feels like Saturday night going into Sunday tonight because we went out and stuff. We had a good time though. I'm glad that we went. And it was fun hanging out with Carlos and Liliana, because we don't ever do stuff like that with them very often, like go out and do anything social with them. It stopped. The battery has been at the halfway mark for a while now, so I'm going to probably have to stop and change the battery here in a little bit. But we don't do like social stuff with them very often, so it was really nice getting to see them tonight, and it was, you know, it's nice for them to be able to like have kind of like a little date night and whatnot. Her sister babysat the kids, so it was fun. We had a good time, and we have no plans tomorrow. Melissa and I on Sunday, I think Sunday night, we're gonna get together and we've been outlining and working on, well, we're going to sit down and outline it, and we've been working on the episodes for the podcast. And more will be revealed about that, but we're working with somebody that is helping us with this podcast, and it's very exciting because it'll be a little bit more professional than I thought it was going to actually be. So I'm really excited about that. But we are going through and kind of like figuring out like, what do we want a season to look like thematically? How do we want that to go? Like, what shows and movies do we want to do? And all of that. And so there's going to be like kind of an outline to the episode so it makes sense, you know? I will tell you that I have decided that I think later this year, I don't know when yet, I'm not going to even speculate about it because I have no idea. It will be whenever, it'll be once the Boogeman Besties is up and running and has been for a while. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe it'll be 2023, who knows. But at some point, I have decided I would really like to do a podcast once or twice a week. That is me just talking about life issues or responding to things that is going on in the world from just a human being's point of view, you know, just responding to it, not really taking sides, not really having this strong opinion about it, but just, you know, looking at world events and the movies and pop culture and who we are in that world and kind of responding to that a little bit, you know, and thoughts about it. You know, it's interesting in reading the Joan Didion book because she's an essayist, but she's very objective about her point of view. She's almost like a documentarian. I want to do something similar to that and talking about, you know, certain things that are going on in the world, or certain, you know, cultural things that are happening, or pop culture things that are happening, but responding to it and how it applies to our world. So it's going to very much be like probably a mix between the vlog and my Peter Does Stuff channel, but it will have like a very specific theme to it. Like, I don't know, just anything that I might be interested in, like picking 3 movies that have come out in the last 10 years and talking about like, you know, religious ideology as seen through these movies, and they might be really drastically different movies, like, you know, I don't know, like Agnes of God, Halloween, and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you know, I mean, I don't know, like, but I just want to do something like that, or, you know, maybe like having somebody on my podcast and talking about the one book that changed your life that you never expected that when you read it, it would, you know, or, I don't know, just random questions and scruples, you know, like looking back on your life, if you could have ended your life at any point, you know, like, and been like, okay, this is my exit point because I've had such a fantastic life at this point, up to this point, when would that be if you had to pick one, you know, or, you know, all those kinds. I love those kind of ideas and just questions, just talking about questions and philosophical ideas of the world. I think it would be really fun. That's something that I want to do. I'm kind of like, you know, this like a snowball going down a hill, the snowball effect. They talk about how it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. my writing this book that I have kind of been talking about, it's weird. Like, I talked about it in my Q&A today. It's like the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I'm kind of like, like, you need to write this book. I think that's another thing that is going to come in the next year. I don't know when. I'm not going to force myself or push myself on any level to read it fast or to write it fast or slow. I feel like it's something that I need to do and that I want to do. And so that's something else that's going to be coming in the year ahead. So I have some exciting things. I don't know when they're coming or how they're going to happen. And, you know, like, one of the biggest things is I wish I had started all, like, the Boogeman Besties, like, social media, and just said coming soon and left it at that. Like, I wish I wouldn't have said it's gonna be here. I mean, I don't know. It's like we put the cart before the horse kind of thing, and it was a huge mistake that we got real excited about it, and we thought it was gonna be easier, and it was easier said than done, and we thought we were gonna have it together in 2 to 3 weeks, and that just didn't happen, and then Melissa and I got busy, and world life stuff happened for both of us, and the holidays, and it's just like one thing after another, and so we keep on putting, that on the back burner, and then we have this opportunity to possibly work with somebody on this podcast that would help us. And I was like, okay, Melissa, this is like, we need to sit down, and what they want is like what I said earlier, like they want the episodes and what a season would look like, and kind of like an outline for. And so we've been like, sending ideas back and forth to each other and talking about it. And so on Sunday night, we're going to sit down and we're going to get a lot of that done. Is our plan right now. We've got a lot of plans. But we're both real excited about it. It's just like, so this opportunity kind of presented itself to us where it won't be like we just get to sit down and record it and that's all we have to do, but it's pretty close to that, and so we're excited about that. And if that is the case, that it's very similar to that kind of, then me doing a podcast down the road would be very realistic, and I would also know more about it at that point. So yeah. I actually haven't listened to a podcast in a while. I haven't listened to that Up and Vanished. I was listening to it, and then I just stopped, I need to go back and start listening to that again. I just was listening to so many books towards the end of the year that I just kind of stopped listening to it completely. Do you know what I wish, even though I ate so much and I said I'm full? Oh, the battery's about to die. I wish that we didn't go to our car in between. Like, we walked straight from the restaurant to the club, and I wish we were going to the car, because I would have brought the jalapeno cornbread, although we gave the rest of it to the couple that were sitting down, Jason and Melissa's friends, because they got there after the kitchen was closing, so they only got to get certain things, and so we gave them the cornbread because Melissa and I didn't finish it. But I wish I could have brought the cornbread home, some of the guacamole, the rest of my street corn, because it would have been a nice little late at night watching La Brea. Let me pull in here next to Crumble Cookies. I'm right next to Crumble Cookies. Here it is. Do you guys want to see inside Crumble Cookies? There it is. See? Alright, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Do you know what is so funny is I was sitting here, I almost started looking it up, and I was like, I don't even remember what Up and Vanish was about. Like, isn't that so bad that I was like, I don't even know what I was listening to in that podcast, and it was about that teacher that went missing. I think her name was Tara something like that. I miss listening to it. I really enjoyed listening to it. Maybe if I get up early enough tomorrow, Alex and I can go to brunch somewhere that we haven't gone to for a while, like Ruth's Cafe. He went to Rise today, so he's not going to want to go to Rise tomorrow. Ooh, we could go to La Peep. I haven't been to La Peep in forever. Is this La Peep? I'm going to go over here and look. Is this La Peep even open? Or is it closed down? I feel like it's closed down. I feel like I was looking over here the other day and I was like... So this restaurant, La Peep, I think it might be a national chain, but back in the day when I used to like go out with my friends and we would drink and stuff, we would go on Sundays to La Peep and have brunch. And I would get the skillet breakfast that they had with cinnamon toast. I don't know how I remember that. It was so good. Oh no, it's still open. Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sure. They have tables outside. You can sit outside in the freezing cold if you want. But we used to go to La Peep, and so I would get it was like skillet breakfast, and it had like scrambled eggs and sausage and onions, and it was like an omelet, but like scrambled, you know, like a scramble. It was so good. And then they are like famous for their cinnamon toast. And then of course coffee, because I was so hungover back in the day. And I can remember this girl that my friends lived with. She was always like, it was like 4 of them that lived in this apartment together. And I was really good friends with 2 of the guys. Well, I was friends with all of them, but the 2 guys were like my closest friends. And the one guy was my closest friend, like at the time that I got sober. And they were the ones that came to visit me on Christmas. But this girl was so funny, I remember. And I remember she drank Tanqueray gin, and she kept the Tanqueray gin that has like the handle on it, you know, like that big quart bottle or whatever. She used to keep it in her bedroom so that nobody could drink her Tanqueray gin, because she was like, that's all she would drink. But I can remember she would be so hungover on Sundays, and then when we were like tipping out, like splitting the bill and tipping out, she would tell us all like what we had to tip. And I can remember they would all like be like, stop telling us what we have to tip. It was always like this huge issue. And then I can remember we would go home, and I would drive all the way down there just to have brunch with them, and then I would drive all the way home, and I would take like a long nap, like a 3 or 4 hour nap, and then we would go out on Sunday nights. Sunday nights were always kind of fun nights to go out back in the day. For a long time, the 10, which was a lesbian bar in Indianapolis, they used to call it the Dirty Dime. It was a filthy, filthy bar, but it was so fun. And they had drag shows there on Sundays. But then there were some other places that had drag shows throughout the years. There's one place called Club Cabaret that we would go to. Sundays were usually drag shows. But then what happened was this club, you know, when I drive through Broad Ripple, there's a bar there called the Vogue. The Vogue was literally around like when my mom was in high school. I think it was a movie theater when my mom was in high school, and then they turned it into a bar later. My friend actually dated the owner of the Vogue and the Patio, which is so bizarre to me. So long ago in those bars. Well, the Patio's not there anymore. The Patio is now La Lava or something like that. The Patio is the bar where I met Courtney Love and Drew Barrymore, because Drew Barrymore was dating the guitarist from Hole, or the drummer from Hole or something. And so they were here for, I think, the Warped Tour or some tour or something like that. Not the Warped Tour. It would have been way before that. They were on tour. I think it was like the Lemonheads or somebody. And, you know what? I used to love that song. It's not the Lemonheads that they were on tour with. I can't remember who. But I love that Lemonhead song. Pure and simple every time. I forgot about that song. But anyway, they were at this bar one night that we went there. And I met Drew Barrymore. She was coming out of a bathroom. And I can remember I just stopped and looked at her and was like, she goes, yes, I'm Drew Barrymore. And then, something like that. And then I walked out, and my old roommate, she and Courtney Love were having a dance-off on this small little stage in the corner of the patio. The bar was called The Patio, and it had this little stage in the corner, and it was dead. It was like a Wednesday night or something. There was only like 20 people in the whole bar, and my roommate and Courtney Love were having a dance-off to Prince's Purple Rain. They were going like this, back and forth. I could see it in my head. And that's so crazy. I think about that. Like the bus was parked out in front when we got there. Oh, so strange in retrospect. But so on Sunday nights, the Vogue, which is a big bar, it's like a 2-level bar, and it's like an old movie theater inside, but then they've built like bars down, so it's huge. They have bands and stuff there. A lot of famous people have played there, and not so much anymore as back in the day. And they used to do this thing on Wednesday nights that was called Retro Rewind, where they would play all this 80s music, and everybody used to go there on Wednesday nights. And but anyway, on Sunday night, it's a straight bar, and on Sunday night they would do, I mean, it wasn't like a straight bar, but like, you know, mostly straight people went. And it's in Broad Ripple, which is like where most like the Butler University crowd goes and hangs out. On Sunday night, one night, I think it was Friday night, they did this thing called Gino's Passion, and it was like all hip hop. And they were like one of the first places in Indianapolis to host like an all hip hop night. And then Sunday nights they did Boing. And Boing was one of the first and only successful attempts at doing like an all gay night at a straight club in Indianapolis. And it was really fun. And it was kind of a big deal. Like a lot of stuff happened. It was really fun. And I actually always thought that I got sober on it like a Monday, and then my last night using was a Sunday because I was at the Vogue. But I must have been there. I think I was there for like Miss Gay Indiana or something like that, some pageant, because I think it was actually like a Friday when I looked it up just like I think last year I looked it up, and it was like a Friday. That was the 16th, so the 17th would have been like a Saturday. Gosh, it's so strange. Back on all that. But anyway. I remember my friend and I, we would go back to his apartment and just like drink, and they lived in these apartments called the Culture Flats. They were really cute. They were like at 23rd and Meridian. And they lived on the third floor, and they had the whole half of an apartment. It was huge. And like when you walked in, they had this huge living room. It was an old building, but they had this huge living room. And then my one friend's bedroom was right to the right, and my other friend's bedroom was right to the left. And then one of the girls was back to the left, and the other girl was like around through the back of the kitchen, and she was in the very back. And they had this kitchen, and they had a dining room, and it was this big apartment. It was really fun. We used to go over there, I don't know, whatever night it came out, I don't remember, but we would watch, like 20 people would come over there, and we would do absolutely fabulous viewing parties. How is this battery already at the halfway mark? And I literally just put it in here, and both batteries were charged when I left. It must be the cold. It's like zapping these batteries. But we would have absolutely fabulous viewing parties, and it was so much fun. I used to love that show, Absolutely Fabulous. I've seen like every episode. Do you guys remember post office parties? I used to love those. I know they're corny as hell, but I don't care. I loved them. Post office parties were when, we used to do these at bars a lot. Post office parties were when, my husband is texting me, so hold on, because I think he's telling me that he's home. And I just want to text him and tell him I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be home. Although I'm really craving some kind of candy bar. Isn't that horrible? Why does it always want to autocorrect vlogging for me? Oh, the battery's dying. I can't even tell you about post office parties. I can't believe this, you guys. 2 fully charged batteries, and they're both dying on me. And they were fully charged when I left. I knew if I left it in the car when it was this cold that it was like they weren't going to do well. But anyway, post office parties were where you wore a number and then you went out to a bar and they flashed, like if somebody sent you, they could like write you a message or buy you a drink, and they would flash it up on the screen, and then you would have to go and get the message, and somebody would leave you a message like at the post office, you know, and then you could go to the post office because they had left you a message at the post office, and you would go there, and then you could get your message at the post office, and it would say like, hi, I think you're cute, but you wouldn't know who it was. They always did that at gay bars. I love that. Anyway, all right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here now because I don't really have any other option because my battery is dying. So I can't believe it. Because I was like looking at the clock, I was like, well, I could probably go for another 20 minutes and do over an hour tonight, but I can't. So anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you like a button in a shoe. I do. I love you like a button in a shoe. And practice random acts of kindness. You can start your day over whenever you want. You can start your day over whenever you want. Practice random. You can start your day over whenever you want. Practice random acts of kindness, and most importantly, remember to reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Phone call, text message, letter, postcard, knock on their door, take them a loaf of bread. Just let them know how much you're thinking of them. Just make somebody feel important today. And you guys make me feel important every day, and I just want to say I appreciate it, and I love you guys, and I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday or Sunday, and I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. And for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just, am I saying it right? Those that want to hear it, those that need to hear it, and those that need to hear it, those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around. One more, I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.